Welcome to the Self Improvement Podcast, where we help you take off into the real world and crush it at life.
Straight out of high school.
All right, guys, so today we are talking about how to stay in alignment with your purpose no matter where you go and no matter what you do by using honest self assessment and some tactics that we're going to show you today.
First off, the biggest part of an honest self assessment is the first word that I just said honest. You got to be honest. You got to have the humility.
Mm-hmm. And you got to take the time to think deeply about it. And you might even need to ask other people what they see in you so that you have that outside perspective. So the first exercise that you're going to use is called um, the 4-part alignment method. Now, this is something I learned from different programs I've been a part of that helped me define the purpose for my business, but also for myself as a person. We're going to give you examples from my life as well as Dalton's to really drive this home so that you can use those questions and prompts to gain clarity for yourself. This will help you pick the right job for yourself, go after the right degree, and everything in between, especially if you're starting up some kind of side hustle or business. All right, so the 4 questions in order that you have to answer are: 1, who do I love to serve? Who is this person? What are they dealing with? What do they want? And then 2 is what do they need? I've kind of mentioned that in the first one. And then 3, what do you like to do? 4 is what are you actually good at? What are you best at doing? Now I know it's like a loaded set of questions, so we're gonna break it down for you. And we're gonna use Dalton's passion and purpose as an example. So question number 1, who do you love to serve?
I love to serve people who are struggling to realize what they want their life to be.
It's awesome. How did you come to that conclusion? What was the thinking process behind that?
Well, I've talked to a few people about it, and when I have the conversations, I gain some kind of happiness from it, sort of sense of achievement, that I'm helping this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in a similar situation where I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and so helping other people realize that makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm. So drawing from your own experience about who you want to help, because you were kind of in their shoes.
Mm-mm.
For me, I am passionate about helping rappers and musicians as well as businesses. The reason for that is, and the way I found that out is through trial and error, partly. But I would say for me, one of the biggest drivers that has allowed me to know who I love to serve is my values. So being really clear on my values. Some of my top values include creativity. I love creativity and just deep thinking. I find those things really important, and if we can get more people to think deeper and to be more creative, then the world would be a better place. That's a belief I have, that's a value. And because I have that, I was like, okay, in order for me to promote those values, who do I need to serve so that they can also promote the same values? And I was like, okay, creative people, musicians, and artists like myself, as well as businesses, because businesses are creative as well. Businesses are very capable of changing the world, in my opinion. I mean, our world right now, the current world, is run by businesses. Even the military is a business in a sense. Big corporations like Facebook, they're a business. You might not think they're the greatest business, but the idea that I'm trying to get across to you is that think about the purpose of those people, and if you're passionate about helping them, that's a good sign that that's where you need to start, is identifying who they are. Okay, musicians, businesses. So that's it for me. A little bit of a longer explanation, but that's how I arrived at it. Any comments or thoughts on that?
No.
All right, cool. Second question you guys want to ask yourselves is, what
does the person you want to serve need the most?
Mm-hmm. So in your case, people that lack purpose or direction.
They need a vision.
They need a vision. Okay.
To see, to imagine what their life could be like in 10 to 20 years or longer.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what their needs and their desires are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I want to give them help them figure out actionable steps to get there.
Mm-hmm. You need a vision and a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And those people, kind of going back to question number one, are they usually, does age matter, or do you see this in different age groups?
I don't think age matters. I think it could affect how well we are able to overcome the self-assessment, honesty part of it. And you know, when you're dealing with somebody who's older than you, they're likely going to have an ego and well, I'm more experienced, I probably know more than this kid. With my leadership skills, however, I think I can overcome that, and that's why age doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool. So you have that clarity, you know who you're after, and you know what they need, which is a vision and a strategy. For me, the second part of this process, which is what they need, is simply put, those businesses and those musicians, what they need is to make an impact and make money. Like, that's the bottom line of it. To enjoy what they do, make an impact, and make the money they want. Simple. The third question is, what do you enjoy doing? And this is for you guys listening, but also as an example, Don.
Like I said before, I like helping people. It brings me joy.
Mm-hmm. And what is like the methodology that you use to help people?
So, leadership usually, motivation, the indirect approach, like asking questions, really listening, establishing a relationship.
Mm-hmm. So that's like the relationship building skill, the communication skill, and you enjoy that.
Yes, yes, I like building a relationship with somebody, establishing trust, and helping them on their journey to where they want to be. Helping them get there.
Yes. And a quick side note is that if what you enjoy doing doesn't correlate with the last question, which is what they actually need, what the person needs, then you need to stay on that question. So for you, when you said building relationship communication, that's perfect. That's how you're going to be able to help people visualize what they want.
Yeah. It's like a check. You know, if you ever done land navigation, you look at a map, then you set a point to where you'll make a turn. And then you'll set a point about, I don't know, 10 or 100 or 100 yards after that, where you're like, okay, I'm 100 yards past the turning point, I need to go back. So that's what number 3 is like. you can get to that point where, like, yep, I'm making the turn here. This is where I need to be. It's in line with who I love to serve and what they need the most. But if you go past that and you miss that point, you go too far and it's something else. No, what I enjoy doing doesn't really match with who I love to serve and what they need the most. Then you need to go back to the initial questions and go from there.
Exactly. So for me, what I enjoy doing is I consider myself like a very curious, like an active listener, an active, like lifetime learner. I love learning. I love listening. I enjoy just understanding. And I also enjoy creating. And because I enjoy doing these things, now I can move on and I'm clear about what I enjoy. I can move on to question number 4. And I need to find something to do that allows me to do what I enjoy. Again, going to that idea of a checkpoint, you have to check everything off, it has to be aligned. And it has to be something that fills a need. So I enjoy talking to people, understanding, learning, creating. So now the question becomes, now that I know what I enjoy, what am I best at doing? What am I like effective at doing? What is the thing that would help me create the most impact and make the most amount of money? And for me, that is business. Because with business, it's highly creative. It requires a lot of listening so that you can understand the people on the other side, so that you can lead them and sell them your services. Another thing that the person that I am after wants and needs is to be able to create effortlessly and to be able to create something great. And that's something I'm great at. I know I have skills in audio engineering. I have skills in using music software to create better music. So I can use those skills that I enjoy doing to serve these people. So that's the alignment. That's what it looks like for me. So I know you Dalton, you said that you enjoy communication, listening to people, leadership, and just helping them. What have you found is the best way for you to do what you enjoy and fill that need? Which is now question number 4. What are you best at doing?
Yeah, so I sort of already answered that question in question number 3. What do I enjoy doing? What I enjoy doing is helping people achieve what they want to achieve, communicating and establishing a good relationship and building trust, and influencing people in a positive manner, which all really fall under leadership. I'm good at leadership. I'm good at establishing those relationships and listening to what people are saying and asking earnest questions and indirectly pointing them in the direction they need to go, making it their idea instead of my idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm best at leadership.
And the reason Dalton was able to answer that very easily, even when he was answering question number 3, is because he knows these things. But for you, it might take longer. Your answer for question number 4 might be different than number 3, and that's something you need to be aware of. Just the process of alignment. So good. That was the exercise. To summarize, the questions were: who do I love to serve? What do they need the most? What do I enjoy doing? And what am I best at doing? What am I actually good at? So there's that.
Yep. And with having a purpose, you have to be always improving and getting better to work towards your goals. And with working towards your goals, with the honest self-assessment, what also comes in is journaling. What I like to do is it's called an active or after action report, an AAR. And so at night, what I do is I take a moment and I think about my day. I think about all the processes I went through, everything that happened, and I write down the things that I did well, that went well, that I enjoyed, and then I also write down the things that I didn't do well, things I struggled with, and mistakes that I made. That includes my goals, that includes how I interact with people, that includes how it relates to my identity, and by doing that, I'm able to work towards how to better achieve, how to better embody my purpose in life.
Mm-hmm. And if you've seen the previous episodes, we've helped you come up with your purpose, identity, vision, and goals. All those things you should have. And now it's a matter of being like, okay, I'm reviewing the day. Here's what I did. Here's what went well. Here's what didn't go so well. And now because you have that information, you can ask yourself, what do I need to do to adjust and improve so that I can hit more goals and make it easier to do so. It'll help you reconnect with your purpose as well. Um, and yeah, you want to do this daily, but I also recommend that you do it weekly. And when you do it weekly, it's super helpful to have an accountability partner.
Mm-hmm.
We've mentioned this plenty of times before, but this is going to be one of the biggest factors for your success.
It's kind of like an additional source of income. You have your internal motivators, which is your journal, keeping yourself in check that way. Then you have your external motivator, which is your accountability partner. So you got two sources of income, two sources of accountability methods.
That's a great analogy. For sure. And then you can have professional accountability, which I've actually been reading about this term, professional accountability, in Jeb Blunt's books, who is a leading sales speaker, teacher, mentor, and everything. Just want to bring that up because a third form of accountability is professional accountability. And I didn't know it was called that until like a couple days ago. But what it is when you pay someone to help you with a specific problem, like a coach, that's a very powerful way. It's probably the most powerful way to hold yourself accountable. Because like when you invest money in something, you're betting on yourself. Oh, I'm gonna invest in this. I bet I can make it back because I invested in it and I'm invested in this endeavor. And I'm accountable to my coach professionally because I paid them.
Yeah, when you're watching a football game or a horse race and you make a bet, you're way more interested in the outcome than if you're just watching it for ha-has. So professional income puts that little fire underneath your bum to, get things done. Okay, well, with that, Ian, do you have anything else that you'd like to add to this episode?
If you guys have questions about alignment or what you want to do, we're here to answer. Check out our Instagram. It's Instagram.com/self_improvement_podcast. And you can send us a private message there.
Or you can leave a comment under the YouTube video, or if you're on Anchor, I'm pretty sure you can leave comments there too.
I think so too. But if not, there is an Instagram link to our profile on Anchor. Alright guys, take it easy. Let's keep crushing it. See you next week.